Jeremiah 14, 2. We're going to show you what God says how the Jews are described. All right? And my brother walking up, we about to show you as well. What's your name? Quincy. Quincy Ricardo, check this out. Read.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish.
So, Jew comes from the word Judah. So he's talking about the kingdom of Judah. He says they're in mourning, meaning they're going through afflictions, right? And it says the gates thereof languish. That means that they have no leadership. They're lacking leaders in the community. But guess how he describes them? Read.
They are black.
They what?
They are black.
What do we call ourselves today? Black. We call ourselves black. So what does the Jews call themselves, Ricardo? What do they say? What do they say? They say they black. Read.
Unto the ground.
Now when you look at the ground, right? We know there's grass in front. But if you look at the ground, what color is it? That's grass, but what's the color of the ground? Huh? Y'all looking at the concrete. Look at the ground right there. Brown, right? He said that they're black unto the ground. It's not saying they this color, but they're derivatives of brown because y'all know who Adam is, right? Who Adam? Huh? He's what?
You're talking about Adam from the Bible?
Yeah, Adam from the Bible. What is he? Tell me about Adam, Ricardo. Who's Adam? That's all right. Who's Adam, Quincy?
I have to say probably supposedly supposed to be the first human being to help populate the world with Eve.
Okay, he's the first. I like that. I like that. Let's get what he was described as. Read that, Genesis 2.
The book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 7. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground.
We talking about Adam? Didn't he form him from the dust of the ground? We all know that, right? So what color is the ground? It's brown. So that means that according to those pictures you see what Leonardo da Vinci drew, that ain't how Adam is described because he white, he's pale, he red, he pink, he's all those colors. He said he was formed from the dust of the ground. The ground is brown. How the hell he turned white then? You see how that's confusion? Because if you keep digging deeper in the ground, does it get lighter?
Nah, it gets darker.
It gets darker. So how do we get these images? You see how that's confusion? So that lets you know not only the original man that was created by God was black, but the people that he chose are black people. You see what I'm saying? But why is this important? Being chosen by God means that you gotta move a certain way. He chose you to move like him. You see what I'm saying? Give me that real quick. I want Leviticus 20:26.
About what, separate?
Yes, yes. Because at the end of the day, we hear all the time, right? Y'all been to churches? Y'all went to church before?
I've been in church before.
You heard the word holy, right? What does holy mean?
To me, holy is also...
Go ahead.
It's just a fancy word for power.
Okay, I like that, I like that.
When you always talk about power, sometimes people use holy this, holy that. So
They put the word together with holy, right? What about you, Ricardo? What does holy mean? Same thing? Check this out. This is what the churches aren't teaching. Read that.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 20, verse 26. And ye shall be holy unto me.
He said ye, he talking about you, the blacks and Hispanics, the Israelites, not everybody. The blacks and Hispanics are the Israelites. He said ye shall be what?
Ye shall be holy unto me.
He said you gotta be holy unto me, read.
For I, the Lord, am holy.
Because God is holy. Now it's gonna tell you what holy means. Read.
And have severed you.
And what?
Severed you from other people.
What does severed mean?
basically separation.
Separate, cut, split. The Lord separated us from the other nations. Any nation you don't see on that chart, we're holy. We're different from them. You gotta think about it. The music we make as black and Hispanics, the food that we make, the clothes that we wear. We different from them. But the problem is because we don't know who we are, we follow their traditions. A lot of people, like, how old are you? 30. 30. Think about it. We were younger. I don't know about you, but growing up, my pops, they were like in the 70s, they watched a lot of Chinese action films. So they followed the culture. You know what I'm saying? They followed the culture, Bruce Lee and Wu-Tang, right? The 36 Chambers. So they gravitated to the other nation. That's not our culture. God made us, we're better than them. In fact, the other nations followed us. They follow how we moved. You see what I'm saying? When we had these fringes, which is a commandment we must keep, the other nations followed that. You see what I'm saying?
As much as Black and Hispanics are the most hated race, everything you look at and everything that everybody tries to inherit is pretty much from the black culture.
We are the most hated race.
They hate us, but y'all love our music. They hate us, but y'all want to dress like
Give me songs that
They
is
hate
true.
us.
I'm gonna show you that's true. I'm gonna show you that's true. But guess what? We gotta get along with one another. When I was born in the 90s, I seen Salvadorians go against Mexicans. I seen Jamaicans go against blacks. I seen Native Americans go against black in Arizona. They had a movie about that with a basketball team. You gotta check that out. But the point I'm making is we have to gather together because God called us. We got the same bloodline. Usted Mexicano? Guess what? You the same as him. You see what I'm saying?
Let me show you something.
Yeah.
Let me show you something. My mom is dark.
He was telling me. I got a brother that's from Mexico.
Really?
He showed me his dad.
It's like you.
His dad got an afro, but he's Mexican.
Dark.
Yeah.
Y'all got somewhere I can keep up with y'all?
Huh? Yeah, we got
like
that.
time frame. Y'all
But
got-
look, let me get this real quick. At the end of the day, right? We're gonna drop the. We gotta start keeping God's law. That's the only way we're gonna get right. So you gotta start growing that beard. You hear what I'm saying? You be shaving that? Leviticus. Let's get it real quick. We have to keep God's laws. We gotta stop eating. I was telling the sister, we gotta stop eating unclean foods. If you eat shrimp, crab, pork, lobster, those things are unclean. And porco, you can't eat that. Carnitas es mal, no limpio,
I've been on
according
my,
to God.
I've been on my Dr. Safety tip lately, cleansing in the temple and stuff.
That's good. But I'm saying there's righteous food. Let's go to Leviticus 11:46 real quick. I want to get that. We're gonna make it real quick because I know you gotta go, but I'm sure you got time, bro. Because we talking about our heritage, bro. Our
I gotta
heritage.
get baby mama to work.
Oh, all right. Free. Check this out.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verse 46. This is the law of the beast and of the fowl and of every living creature that moveth in the waters.
Remember, we're separate. So he gave us a special law on what we can eat and what we can't eat. He made a difference between certain beasts. Right, read.
And of every creature that creepeth upon the earth,
Uh-huh.
to make a difference between the unclean and the clean.
You don't have that no more. That's why you see people eating a lot of bacon. That's why you see people eating carnitas, right? ¿Tú comes carnitas? Hey, en la Biblia es mal. We can't do that no more. That's not clean because guess what? He made a difference on what we can eat and what we can't eat. Huh? Because guess what? At the end, I'm gonna deal with it. Because guess what? At the end of the day, that's what we have to start keeping. God didn't say everything's good in the name of Jesus. You see what I'm saying? So guess what? Real quick, let me get 11:7. Yeah, let's finish that.
To make a difference between the unclean and the clean, and between the beast that may be eaten and the beast that may not be eaten.
God gave us He gave us special instructions on what to eat and what not to eat. But guess what? We got to identify who our teacher, our master is. So I'm going to touch this real quick. ¿Cuál es su nombre? Antonio, venga aquí, por favor. Poquito inglés, you know. Okay, cool. I can work with it because my Spanish is terrible. So guess what? Right now, before we deal with some more, I got to show you who Christ is because we got images right here. Show me what Jesus the Christ look like. Get close. You can touch it. Oh, okay. That's Christ. You agree? Yes? Show me. We got many pictures. What Christ look like? Huh?
For me,
Show me because we got images.
no, really,
You don't have photos? In your mind though. So when you pray, he doesn't have like skin color, no hair tech, nothing? That's that. Well, guess what? We're gonna get it because he does have flesh. Antonio, venga.
The book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ,
Read.
which God gave unto him to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass.
We are God's servants. That's why he separated us. Remember, the instructions and the laws he gave us, he gave it for a reason to serve him. So we were given this in the last days because we never kept the laws. We lost everything. And we were deceived into thinking what Christ looked like. Right? Now, go to verse 3.
Verse 3. Blessed is he that readeth.
It said, blessed is he that readeth. Why? Because you read how he looked like in the Bible. You read how Adam looked like in the Bible. How the Jews were described in the Bible. What color are the Jews? Remember what we just read? They're blackened to the ground. So we already identified his people. Now we got to identify the leader. Verse 14.
Verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow.
It said his hair was white as snow and it looked like wool. What does wool look like?
Kind of like naps. Like, I want to say naps.
Yeah,
like
you're right.
Type of naps.
Yeah. Who got hair like that? Black people. Do he got hair like that? Yeah, he got hair. No. What about him? What about him?
But the most common thing you're going to see in every household is white people.
Yeah, that's common because we were put in oppression. But the Bible just said that ain't how his hair looks. So this is a lie. Right? Read.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Read on.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
What color is brass? Bronze.
Brown.
It's brown. It's brown. Read.
As if they burned in a furnace.
And it says as if it burned in a furnace. If you burn anything, toast, tortillas, rice, what color does it turn?
Black.
It turns black. So it's saying that Christ is described so dark that he looked like he burned in a furnace. That means he's a black man.
That's right.
And look, he told us to worship only one God. If we follow other gods, guess what? That's idolatry. What's your name? Ricardo, what's that? What does that represent? Huh? She's from Israel, right? But guess what? That's not the symbol God gave us. The people that live in Israel, they're not the true people of the Bible. I'm not saying her, but they perpetuate witchcraft. That symbol is a pentagram. All right, my brother. That symbol is a pentagram. You know who deals with the pentagram? Satan. When you look at the 6-pointed star and the 8-point, that's Satan right there. You can't play around with that. Give me that Acts chapter 7, 43. I'm going to show you in the Bible, you're not supposed to wear that. That's evil. But you didn't know that. I'm showing you something. Read.
The book of Acts, chapter 7, verse 43. Yea, ye took up the tabernacle of Moloch.
Wait, jump up. Do I want another verse? Give me verse 42.
Verse 42. Then God turned and gave them up to worship the host of heaven. As it is written in the book of the prophets, all ye house of Israel, have ye offered to me slain beasts and sacrifices by the space of 40 years in the wilderness?
Because we wasn't doing what we supposed to do according to God. We're doing our own thing. When we wear these things, that's not according to God. We doing our own thing. Read.
Yea, Ye took up the tabernacle of Moloch, and the star of your god Remphan.
The star of who?
The star of your god Remphan.
You know who Remphan is? You never heard of that before, huh? That's just another word for Satan. That's all it is. In Greece, they called him Cronus. In Rome, they called him Saturn. But he was a deity that ate children. That's what that god represents on that star that you're wearing. And before that, he was called Moloch, where they sacrificed children to that deity. Our people, we're not supposed to wear that thing. You hold on to it. Look, I'm gonna show you how God feels about that. Give me Isaiah 30 and 22. I'm gonna give you the, I understand. But I want you to really meditate on this. You think that thing is protection?
No.
Of course not. It's just some metal, right? Yeah, it's just some metal. That's it.
Look. Tells
What are
you.
you doing?
This is the star of Molech. Tells you right there. The star of Molech is a symbol of astral worship and idolatry. I wouldn't even be wearing that shit.
You're not supposed to wear that. Because who are you supposed to worship? Who are you supposed to worship?
Worship?
Who are you supposed to pray to and worship? You don't know? God. There's only one God, the living God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Our forefathers' God. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to show you something real quick. You can come through, brother. Don't be shy. Come on through. Read that.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 22.
I'm showing my older brother, Ricardo, that the symbol that he's wearing, have you ever seen that symbol before? On his necklace.
No.
You never seen that star before? Have you seen a pentagram before? That's basically the same thing. It's just more points. All that is worship of witchcraft. But he didn't know that. He said he got it from Israel. But Israel, all they do is witchcraft over there. Just like that cross on your earring, that's a symbol of death. Yeah, they killed our forefather Jesus the Christ on that. Check this out. Read this real quick. Read that.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 22. Ye shall defile also the covering of thy graven images.
So those which you're wearing are graven images. God says you're supposed to defile them, and you're supposed to destroy them. That's what defile means. He said you're supposed to destroy these things. Read.
Of silver and the ornament of thy molten images of gold.
That's silver and that's gold. So we're talking about the same thing here. Read.
Thou shalt cast them away as a menstruous cloth.
God says you gotta throw that thing out like a menstruous cloth. Who knows what a menstrual cloth is? You don't know? Oh, we got, sis, what's a menstruous cloth? Y'all know?
She said she can't hear.
What's a menstruous cloth? When a girl go through a menstrual cycle, what is that? You gotta throw that thing away. That's when a sister goes through a period, right? There's a bleeding cycle she deals with. God says that's what that piece is to him. It's nothing but a bloody cloth. That's how he feels about it. Are we supposed to go off how we feel or how God feels? We're supposed to go off what God feels. So guess what? You're supposed to cast that thing away. That thing is not for you. You see what I'm saying? Do you understand how serious that is? So what are you going to do about that cross, bro?
I gotta take it off.
Take that thing off. Throw it away. You don't understand how serious that is. Because understand, where's that in Deuteronomy? You already got it, huh? Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 25. The graven images of their gods.
Now, that's another God you're worshiping. That great, you know what God you're worshiping? This right here. You're worshiping YG. This is not of the Bible. You understand what I'm saying? That's the evil that you don't know that you're worshiping. Read.
The graven images of their gods shall ye burn with fire.
So back then when we had those graven, we burned it with fire. We had to purge that thing out. Read.
Thou shalt not desire the silver or gold that is on them.
You have been deceiving to desiring that because it's a fashion style now. You ain't the only one that's been wearing that, bro. You see what I'm saying? Read.
Nor take it unto thee, lest thou be snared therein.
Lest you be snared. You're going to get caught up in their doctrine. their traps. They thinking God came for everybody. Understand, there's a spirit in everything.
What is a nation? Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation